Here you go. Okay, I think we're live now.
Fantastic. I love it how that works.
I think it's working.
I'm going to go to Hangouts, and you should be able to hear a different voice in a second. If I can get the technology to work. You never know, really. Where are my microphone settings?
I think we hear you okay, anyway.
Yeah. Anyway. That's fine. So we're live.
Yeah.
Look at that. Technology.
Awesome.
I love it. Yeah, this is great to be here and to see. I'm trying to see again. But I cannot get it to work. This is how technology is, I think, nowadays, is that it kind of works and it nearly doesn't always work. Not in the way that you want it to work anyway. So, Djoann, awesome that we could be here together today.
Yep.
And we could do this session together. I think this is unique in our times.
Yep.
And we have now the opportunity, in the forced opportunity where the whole entire world is looking to work from home in one way, shape, or form, where Microsoft Teams has never been so popular,
yep.
and Skype crashes even more so than most,
and Zoom,
Zoom as well. You know it, but also seeing other organizations getting involved, where the likes of Google have said, you know what, all the limitations that we had and everything that you had to pay for beforehand, it's yours.
Yep.
There you go. Use it. And it's these adaptive times, right?
Yep. Times to adapt.
So, times to adapt.
Time for disruption. And we're getting all this food order via food delivery, and you cannot get out anyway, you know, so you better use e-commerce if you want something to arrive at your home.
And this is the thing, I mean, like, were organizations ready for this? Was the likes of Netflix ready for millions of people all of a sudden turning to their services and saying, we want to consume what you've got now more so than most?
Yeah.
You know, the likes to Spotify, no one could have seen this. No one saw this in the stock market, for example, in January, early January, because we didn't see all of these on-demand services spike. We didn't see AWS and their services demanding higher and higher and higher needs each and every time.
Yeah, this is it. This is happening now. And we should all invest in Spotify or Netflix, on YouTube. If you haven't done it, maybe start with that today, James.
Yeah, as I think you've missed the boat, right? You've missed the boat on ETFs. Government bonds, you have to pay for the right to hold government debt nowadays.
Yep.
I mean, like,
this is crazy.
You know, unless you're stockpiling diamonds and gold bullions under your pillow, I think that this is the only way that you can really do this, right?
Yeah.
But I think banks are bleeding. They were bleeding even before this time, even before we got to the Corona crisis, if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the companies saw the change, and all of this has just accelerated the need for remote working, for skills which aren't available that can go to a physical location every single day.
Yeah. And a lot of efficiency towards that. When you think about it, I'm in South Asia right now, right? And for the first time for a couple of months, the sky was blue today. So a lot less cars in the streets, a lot less pollution. I'm really excited about looking at the data. And we might be on track this year to hit the target for the COP21 in terms of climate regulations. This is very interesting and very exciting time, actually.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, right? And like, can you imagine? Again, we take ourselves 3 months back and say, okay, in 3 months' time, we're going to be able to produce or say achieve a fifth of the less output that we would expect for carbon emissions in, let's say, China. And we're going to know that's crazy. Yeah. There's no way that could happen. There's zero chance that happening.
No way.
Well, guess what? We found ourselves in a pandemic, and it's not zero chance of it happening. It happened. Yeah. It happened already.
And no zombies.
And even if they go back to like absolute normal right away from tomorrow, we're still going to have a fifth less emissions in the air.
Yeah, exactly. And no zombies, which is a big news because, you know, I've been playing so much of these video games where, you know, it was survival, apocalypse, and this is the apocalypse today, right? Everyone's have to stay home, and we're stuck. Our main concerns are not really zombies. They are just like, okay, do I have enough food delivery, or do I have enough toilet paper? Or my Netflix account is working. So I think it's
everyone's so reliant on the internet nowadays. So this is the thing. So the internet went out in our house the other day, and everyone just looked up and went, "Fuck!" Right? What do we do now for these next X minutes that I can't change my lights? I can't entertain myself. I can't learn because they're in the middle of a school classroom. Yeah. It's all these other bits. It's like everything is relied down to like a single area of fault.
Yeah.
And once you get to that one area of fault, then you're kind of like buggered basically. But I saw the other day that Netflix has said that in Europe, because of these extreme streaming usage, they're going to turn down the quality by 25%.
Yeah, to be able to
just so that there is enough internet usage for everyone else to go around.
Yeah, this is it, and that's why there is bad news, but I think this is the major good news. I think the technology that we all had in our hands, now we start to realize how it has changed the way we live, and it has changed how we operate as a society, so much that we don't need to meet anymore. We can survive for months just by having, you know, delivery guys coming in, by paying online with no cash, and by literally working online and consuming online. So it's how the society finally adapts with the smart internet infrastructure we have developed last 20 years. That's pretty exciting.
The amount of memes that I've seen online in the last weeks where it says basically, oh yeah, shit, this meeting could have been an email instead. I think it's that realization after so many years where they go, oh, actually, the things that we were meeting up for and doing things in person has been a force of habit, a force of tradition, and something that we don't need to do nowadays in order to be as productive or in order to be as social as we were beforehand.
Yeah, and some of my staff has told me that, you know, they were feeling more productive yesterday, which was our first day of work from home, than the whole last week. I got really pissed off. Because it's like, what are you guys doing at the office? But this is a good learning, and let's see if we keep this work from home experiment after the pandemic, you know, slowed down. But this is very interesting learning, and some companies already been doing that for a long time. You look at Buffer, you look at, you know, many companies have been extremely productive by having workers all around the world, and they've played this salary arbitrage to reduce their costs down, increase their margin, and doing company trips in crazy islands. Look at Buffer, really. You know, this is a really good example.
In the workplace, instead of doing, you know, spending that money on the physical workplace itself.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Do you see this being the death of the cubicle or the death of open plan offices, as we saw it was beforehand?
No, I think our society is still gonna need 2 or 3 major major environmental changes to be able to really scrap the old work. To penetrate the future of work, we're going to need these political reshuffling. We're going to need price to increase. But I think step by step we're getting there, and I think for the first time we now realize that we can still work from home. This is interesting, and I think if you look at the economy, yes, a lot of business is going to take a big hit, but all of these businesses are from the last industrial revolution, right? And if they're able to adapt, they will be able to sell maybe even more online now. So I'm really thinking really stupidly, very simple things like food, right? I want to eat food, right? This is very simple, and usually I will maybe go down and have grab something down the street, right? And these guys they can close down now because no one's gonna show up. Or they can simply list their product on Food Panda here in South Asia, and they can just get people to start buying the stuff. And then they can not only deliver it into my street, but deliver it all around the city, and potentially increase their income. So you can see that some of the companies that were usually serving local streets not going to be able to take advantage of that and become multi-million-dollar restaurants. If they can position themselves
well. They have the ability to become born global now because of this, and the ability to look towards seeing, okay, I can deliver much further, or I can provide my product to a much wider net than it was beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a realization that, again, some companies already have done 10 years ago. Think of Amazon and the millions of businesses that Amazon is empowering in the US. Think of Alibaba and the millions of Chinese businesses they are empowering in China. But I think now this realization is coming for the local businesses all around the world, right? I'm French. Even in France now, those businesses are going to have to adapt and start to sell online if they want to be able to pay their staff at the end of this month. And we're not talking about 5 years from now anymore. We're really seeing the future of work today. So that's what I'm excited about for this virus situation. I'm of course ashamed for the people who've been hit. I'm of course worried for my grandmom who is 95 years old, and I hope she's not gonna get it. But in the meantime, I can see that a lot of technology disruption that I was seeing and foreseeing are now really happening and accelerating our move toward this future of work, and that's what is exciting for me.
Yeah, I thought with every opportunity, with every disaster, that there is also the other side of things as well, right? And I think everyone has been focusing a lot, especially here in Europe, on the downsides of the coronavirus. Of course, that there are very few upsides, but I think you've got to look at now what's happened because of it, and seeing people are remote working efficiently. Things are still getting done. Yeah. There are, I'm guessing, questions to be raised on the social aspect of how one's mentality, one's mental health reacts to being socially confined. Like, I have my family around me. Yeah. All of my loved ones, my direct loved ones, I see every single day. Yeah. But what about those that don't have that? Yeah. That are older or are younger than myself and don't have that blanket or that ability to socialize in some way. Yeah. But then again, to see, well, can we look towards the future and work in a way that is more conducive to our lifestyles as it is today? Why are we commuting 3 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes to a location when you're able then to do the exact same thing to the same level, if not higher, at a different location that's more conducive to you? So you're saying that we're not going to see then big offices and things like that go away right away. Are we going to see more shared offices, the likes of WeWork, that are actually right in the first place? They're just bad timing, bad management in between, or?
I don't say we're gonna see the disparition of open spaces. What I'm saying is the companies that are going to make the highest margins and that are going to become multi-billion-dollar companies are the ones that will be able to productize work on a way that doesn't need open office, on a way that doesn't need 1,000 persons to do the same task because a software is doing it, or because an algorithm is doing it, or because a machine is doing it. And this is already the case. There is, if you look at companies like Amazon, they are step-by-step productizing and automating every single task that require more than 100 people, right? And what usually employed, the most workforce, which was the warehouses, is now fully automated with very cheap, affordable robots that doesn't sleep at night. And I think.
Well, this is the thing. The argument also to the other side of this is then the human side of it, right? So, well, actually, you're replacing it with cheap, affordable robots, but we have cheap, affordable workforce and labor that could also do the job. But I think what you're saying is, well, why don't we retrain that cheap, affordable, smart human being to be even smarter?
Yeah.
And then, let's say, program robots to be able to do that instead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just replacing one for one, right?
Exactly. And this is really what you will start to see, I think, this decade with your family members. Maybe you have a sister, maybe you have an uncle who were doing one of these manual labor work, and he will lose his job. But is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? This is debatable, but in my opinion, I think there is overdue. And this overdue.
But we're not just talking about manual labor at the same time, right? We're also looking then at how AI is going to change the way that insurance is done. So you have now hundreds of thousands, millions of insurance adjusters around the world, in every single country, in every single continent, looking at particular numbers, saying, well, the risk should be higher here, the risk should be lower there.
Yeah. So
I mean, the legal profession won't be the same again.
The good news is most of the time, your uncle who were doing this manual job didn't really like this job anyway. And it's kind of a release if you really ask them, after 1 or 2 years. I've seen a lot of people doing, very manual work, and they were enjoying the habit of it. But now they are actually free, and they reach what we call the freedom of work. And some of them just learn, UI design, or they just start to sell some items on Facebook Marketplace, and they're making 3-4 times the salary, and they are able to travel, and they are able to work whenever they want. So they actually reach the freedom. And I think this is the other side of the coin. Yes, we're going to have to change our habits and adapt, and it might be painful for the one that are not ready for it. But for the one that can foresee that coming and that's going to be the first one to catch those digital skills, they're going to have actually the chance to reach what I call freedom of work for the first time in humanity. You don't need to go and hunt. You don't need to go and farm for 6 hours a day if you want to eat or if you want to have a home to sleep. You just need to open your computer maybe 1 hour per day. And if you find something very valuable to do, with 1 hour per day, you will be able to make more money than your ancestor for a week. But
this was the reality. I mean, we're talking 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, this was science fiction in the future.
Yeah.
But right here today, you're able to be where you are, open a laptop, find businesses or economies that you can do something in that you're passionate about, and then be able to produce and earn a living from it.
Yeah. I could have called you from the island I was, a few days back, but I would have really pissed off people. so
me for one. I mean, that's
next call. But literally, I mean, just checking on my friends right now who live here in South Asia. A lot of them are, digital marketers, SEO marketers, and they just work a couple of hours a day. And right now they left Bangkok to escape the virus a little bit and to do social distancing, as it's called. And right now they just enjoy themselves in the best beach in the world with, unlimited internet. And they just realize, wait, so actually I can work remotely while being inside the city and have so much fun and a mojito and a coconut and be on the beach. And this is the same realization, as maybe your uncle that realized, oh, actually I like this job better now because I work less and make more money. And I think this is a good this is a good realization for this decade, because the changes ahead are gonna be drastic, and there's a lot of bad things that can happen. But I think we're gonna all get much better and with more freedom if we're able to prepare and adapt to it.
Yeah, I can also agree. So, but I mean, ultimately, that's what the book's about, right? That's what you delve into with the adaptive economy, and how you sit there with looking at these changes, recognizing the waves of technology and environmental that's happened beforehand, and then being able to showcase that. How have you given some experiences in the book also to how people are able to do this for themselves?
Yeah. So the adaptive economy has been really a really long labor for me. I've been working on that for actually the past 3-4 years, because I've been writing on my Medium, and since I'm very detail oriented, sometimes I'm shy to share stuff. I didn't publish many articles that I've wrote on Sundays, and the adaptive economy is combining all these Medium articles, which actually come from the thousands of technology people I've met during the last 5 years by building GetLinks and a few other companies, and all these people were thriving, a little bit like Jeff Bezos, making tons of money from stuff that I didn't learn at school, right? But also some of these people, particularly CTOs or CEOs, were building companies that were really gonna disrupt the workplace, and I got the chance to be having coffee, interviewing these people, having beers with these people to really understand what is coming, really, and not in the next 50 years. I'm talking about today, or actually yesterday, but didn't reach maybe your spot, but have been there already, right? So it's really about that. The future is here already. It's just evenly distributed, and this book is about to make you realize that as an individual, there is tons of opportunity for you to not only make tons of money through this new digital era, but also be much happier and much free. But also for your organization to be able to thrive, because it's not that the company is going to stop using offices, right? It's just that there is maybe 1% of the company who are smarter than the other ones, and that gonna actually not use offices and productize their work better to create more margins. And this company is gonna be, the next mega corporation that will dominate our lives. Apple, Amazon, Facebook were just, the appetizer, I think, of what we're gonna see emerging next 10 years. We're gonna see Apple, which gonna be really about AI. We're gonna see a really mega corporation about VR. We're gonna see a mega corporation about space. And these mega corporations probably are from founders which are my age today. And these companies will be trillion-dollar companies. So there's a lot of opportunities here, and I think it's too bad if I keep all this for me, and if my tech friends keep it for themselves. And that's why I wanted to write that book. That's one.
I think ultimately sharing is caring, right? And then having that ability to get that out there. And I think it's also coming at exactly the right time of where we are in this, this pandemic, but also even if we took this away, of where we are in terms of the technological curve of what can be achieved if you really look towards the opportunities.
Yeah. So that's on the good side. That's on the good side.
Yes, of all this. Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to getting it and to seeing. It's been great to catch up with you today, Djoann, and to hear more about this, about your book and what you're up to. And can we find out more about it soon?
Yes.
Where can we find out more about this?
So we're doing a campaign right now for the next 24 days on Publishizer, and if I reach the quota of pre-orders, I will be able to get 5 to 10 publishers to reach out to us and to be able to pay for the publishing on printed paper. It's pretty cool.
So I mean, basically, this is like the bottom-up approach to everything as well, right? And to get this in. But, I mean, the digital copy is also right there as well. If you're a big fan of the books, I think, as we just talked about, everything is digital nowadays, or has the ability to be digital.
Yeah,
right? So,
exactly. So it's live on the website, shared on my Facebook, but also it will be live on Apple and Amazon probably this weekend, as I have a bit more time now. And let's see, right? If friends have recommendations where to distribute that book, I think it would be really useful for everyone, not only individuals but companies. Even my mom probably gonna learn from that book because she needs to adapt. She needs to be an adaptive.
You're not gonna make your mum, right? Guessing to order the book.
But look,
aunties, uncles, grannies,
yes,
no problem.
Yeah,
mummy get a free copy, but everyone else, even dad, he has to pay.
And even kids. I think in chapter 3 particularly, I'm really setting up what's from, asking again 1,000 of tech people, what are the key 12 industries that gonna explode next decade, and where if you are an investor, you should be investing in these industries. If you're an entrepreneur, you should start something. You should think of start up something there. If you're an individual, you should start of upskilling yourself to work in these industries. And I think even kids will be taking advantage of this book to be able to understand where the world is going, and be able to really hack it and win it.
Can you imagine reading a book like this when you were, let's say, 7, 8, 9, 10, early teens, and when you're making those decisions about what you want to do in life? Right? I remember going there and saying, well, I want to be a pilot. So, well, you should have taken this one, this lesson, and this set. And you're like, fuck, I missed it already. I mean, like, okay, how do I do this? The subjects that I took gave me 0 qualifications of being a pilot. So, I mean, having a guide like this would also, doesn't matter if you're going into your career, if you're in the middle of the career, or at the end of your career. It's something. This is the economy for right now, right? Yeah. So something you should look towards and see how you can also make a difference to the world.
Yeah.
And give your input.
Look, I think you have a really good point here. This book, of course, is not designed for kids. But because just the question of where should I be, what's my place in the world, have never been such an important question for everyone today. You ask my friends who are not fresh grads, but working for maybe 5 years, they are seriously asking themselves this question, because what they do at work just doesn't make sense sometimes, and it's not purposeful, and they are thinking, okay, why do I have to wake up? And a lot of friends, a lot of my friends that I've met, a lot of my acquaintances, they're really asking themselves this question. And a lot of people are lost today, in this flood of notification, in this flood of music, video, live stream entertainment. We just don't know where to look at and what to do, and we're just getting grabbed by our iPhone every morning with an alarm clock, and then we just go through the autopilot mode without really thinking, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to leave as a legacy? And I think this question is not really for kids. You need to know where the future is going. And when I say future, it's immediate future, next 5 years, if you want to know what's your place in the world. And I think this is a healthy question to be able to have at least maybe 1 hour reflection on that. What do you want to do? What's your place in the world? What do you want to do next 10 years? And I think this is where my book, The Adaptive Economy, can probably help 1,000 people. And if it can help 1,000 people to figure out what they want to do next 10 years, then I'll already achieved my mission. And this book will have been very successful already.
And I'm guessing even if it touches just one person and changing that one life for the better as well, which won't happen because I think you're going to see quite a few pre-orders coming through. But let's look at this, and I would suggest that everyone take a moment now to check it out. Publishizer.com/the-adaptive-economy. It's on pre-order right now, and we have probably until the end of April for your exclusive discounts. I'm guessing still to work. Yeah. That's how it's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So check it out. At least get the digital copy. Otherwise, sign up for the hardback. But Djoann, really super cool that we could do this today and this session.
James.
And we're looking forward to getting our hands on our free copy.
Yep.
Paid copy. Paid copy.
Thank you so much, and see you later. And any comments, any ideas, any feedbacks, can reach me out at my email. I will comment here on the live stream. And yeah, looking forward to get feedbacks and help more people towards figuring out what to do next 10 years. See ya.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.